Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the 4-inch-Nel Mega Man Star Force Mega Man figure. This is another figure on loan for review, so thanks to the viewer who sent this in so I could show you fine people out there. This is actually a pretty cool figure. It's not my cup of tea for Mega Man, but that's a very subjective thing. Objectively, it's a cool design, and it's a pretty solid figure, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about, let's say 10.5 to the top of the helmet, and then if you count that spike of hair, a little bit over 12 centimeters, which makes him just about a little bit over 4 to the top of the helmet, and then about 4 5/8 to the top of the hair. The paint job on this guy is particularly nice. We do have a lot of line work and finer details. Not the most incredible paint job in the world, but what is there is very solid, and it is a little bit more intricate than your average Mega Man figure, so I like that a whole bunch. I do also very much like the shading that's on this piece. Very, very nicely done. I like it a whole lot. And then they did the nice translucent visor for the face, which does add a very nice extra level of detail to this figure, so very cool looking. As far as accessories go, we do have one interchangeable face. We have the neutral face, and then we have one yelling face. We have one fist hand for the right side, and one open hand for the right side, and then we have one hand for the right side where he's holding some kind of little thingy. I don't know what it is because I never played the game or whatever this is from. And then for the left side, we have the one that comes on him in the package, which is like this dog dragon thingy with the orange. It's not orange, it's green. Don't know why I said orange. We have the green fire coming out of the mouth on this one, but then we also have the alternate one, which has a hinged jaw with no green fire coming out of it. So you have those options. And the alternate one does also have pupils, which is kind of cool. And that's it for the accessories. Not an incredible amount, other than that terribly large display stand, which isn't particularly useful for these figures, but it is a cool display stand on its own merits. As far as this guy's articulation goes, we have a hinge and a swivel down here for the bottom of the neck. Same thing for the top of the neck, so you can move it around pretty well. It's not going to be necessarily the easiest to get into some poses, but you should be able to get it there. It just might take a little bit of extra force, but it'll work. It should be okay. For the shoulders, it's very similar to another Mega Man we looked at. I don't remember which one in particular, but we have this really weird crooked shoulder joint. So it has the hinge in it, which works, but as you can see, it's offset. Why they did that, I have no clue. You can't raise the arm straight up. It's impossible. It's a very, very weird design. It's very well designed in that it's functional. You can see it just kind of tucks in, and you get good range out of it, but it's very weird the way, and it also pegs in at an angle, so it rotates at an angle pretty much no matter what you do. Very, very weird. You do have a bicep swivel. It's pretty obvious right there in the dark blue. We have a double jointed elbow, pretty much like all the other Mega Man figures from this line. Very nicely executed. I like it a whole bunch. And then the wrists have a hinge and a swivel in them. This arm technically has the same articulation except for the elbow and the wrist. So you just have a single joint for the elbow and then just a rotation. Well, I guess it's technically a ball peg, but it's mostly just going to be a rotation for the wrist. And then you'll swap out this part for the dog. As far as the torso goes, I don't like the fact that it has a really, really big gap in the upper torso. That is not good, and there doesn't appear to be anything you can do about it. It looks like it's a double ball peg going from the middle to the upper torso, and so you get really good range, but it's got that huge gap. Can't do anything about it. And then we have, I think, just a single ball peg for the lower torso, but again, since this isn't my figure, I can't really take it apart to check. But the lower torso does move around fairly well. It's just going to be kind of tricky since the upper torso moves around so well on its own. You're going to have to kind of try to move this one. For the hips, these two pieces seem to be connected, or at least they're stuck on this particular figure. But as far as I can tell, it's just your standard ball peg in there, and it has decent enough range. I mean, they move well enough. You're not going to have the most crazy range, but it'll do. When I try to rotate it, it just rotates at the top, so I don't know if this split is supposed to have a swivel in it or not. It doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. For the knees, we have a double jointed knee, which works very nicely. No complaints there. Works nicely, looks good. That's fine. And then for the ankles, we have, it seems like we have a hinge and a swivel maybe. Maybe it's a hinge and a ball peg. Yeah, I think it's a hinge and a ball peg. So you can technically offset the foot in front of the shin armor so that it sticks out that way. Doesn't still bring the foot very far forward, or you can do it inside the shin armor. Still not much of an angle. And then you can point it down fairly well, but the heel sticks out, so it just doesn't really provide you with very many useful options You can kind of rotate it though, that works pretty well. The ankle rocker is probably the best part. So it's okay. I don't know. It's not the best figure in the world, but for a 4-inch figure, it's done pretty well. Those weird shoulders really don't help it. And then the big gap in the torso, those are two things that could easily be corrected to make this thing better. But as you can see, it's a really sharp looking figure and the articulation's functional enough. So if you're into this sort of thing, you may want to check it out. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.